Like him or loathe him, Ken Block is arguably one of the most famous people in the world of cars. His Gymkhana 5 video alone has done over 60 million views on YouTube. So, when we heard that he was out in Spain filming with Castrol and some footballers, it's called Footkhana and has something to do with the World Cup, we thought we'd go along and have a chat. First up, we wanted to find out a bit more about his Fiesta.
So, Ken, start with the figures first, I suppose. Power, torque, what's it putting out?
Okay, well, this particular car obviously is a Ford Fiesta. We call it the RX-43. It's based off the World Rally car that M Sport develops. And my team, along with M Sport, have modified the World Rally car to basically be a rallycross car. And then we modify it even more in the engine compartment and suspension to then do Gymkhana. So this car is a very dual sport car. This did all of the global rallycross season last year, including the X Games rounds, and it also did Gymkhana 6, along with a couple other small demos and that type of thing in the States. The power plant in here is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that when we're in rallycross mode probably puts out about 650 brake horsepower. When I'm doing Gymkhana, we actually detune it because I want a broader, more manageable power band. So it's about 550 horsepower out of a smaller turbo. This engine's based off the old 2-liter that was in the Focus, the World Rally car.
I'm presuming bigger restrictor.
Yeah, but bigger restrictor for rallycross and for Gymkhana. I like the 1.6 liter. Amazing to race World Rally with that engine, but man, this 2-liter with rallycross it's insane. It's literally every time I shift, I'm doing even just testing, I'm shifting this thing. Just a big smile on my face. There's 1.8 seconds for 0 to 100 kilometers an hour.
Seriously, wow.
Yeah, so it shoves you in the back of the seat and keeps you there. It's very fun.
Gearbox is a SADEF?
It's a SADEF 6-speed sequential, so 6 up and 1 gear in reverse.
Presumably strengthened.
Yeah, it's a different box than what they use in the World Rally car because so much more horsepower and torque going from the engine into it that we needed to beef up all the drivetrain. Yeah. You know, even
is that why you've got the bigger tunnel through it as well? So.
Yeah. With rallycross, we have a lot of bumper-to-bumper action. You also have a lot of potential impacts, and the radiator is very fragile. So I put the radiator back here so that if you are bumper-to-bumper, you're still able to draw in all the air that you want from the sides of the car and push it through the radiators. So
you've got the big knacker ducts on the side.
Yep,
which,
knacker ducts on either side. The fans suck it in and then through, and then comes right through the mesh. So the particular rims that I use for Gymkhana is this brand called 1552 out of Los Angeles. They're a small company of a couple guys that we've known for a long time. Yeah. What we do with Gymkhana is we look for a tire like a drifting tire, something that's meant to not try to grip too hard, and once it does give away, it's very consistent from the minute you put it on the car to the time it's almost completely destroyed. So it's one of those challenges on our side to really find a tire that I can, if I'm doing a Gymkhana race, that we can get through, we can slide, but actually is quick enough on forward momentum to get some grip to try and be quick, but then be very consistent while sliding around. And of course, with the videos, we look for something that is consistent all the way through, but also creates a lot of smoke, which looks good on camera. Yeah. So it's funny how much technology is in there of something that you want to destroy. But that's part of the fun, for me at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Opening up the car, obviously we plexiglass side windows with the mailbox type ventilation.
Check out the,
oh yeah, no mirrors on here right now. The mirrors for us are pretty minimal for rallycross and Gymkhana. I actually have a mirror up here inside that I use occasionally for rallycross.
Is somebody going to hit me from behind? Yes, they are.
Yeah. Well, we have a spotter that kind of tells us, like, if someone's coming up from behind or from the side. It's all a part of the game, though, having a spotter and being able to try and see something.
Must be an advantage doing rallying then, because you're used to at least listening to have somebody in your ear telling you what to do effectively, sort of kind of
Yeah, but
It's
usually
not
with
pace mode,
rally,
but
it's
it's
kind of a turn or two ahead and I can plan. With rallycross, it's like, on your right, ah! You know, like, it's much more of a instant reaction type thing. On the interior of this car, we actually have the WRC Recaros that we use. This is one of the best seats in the entire world for safety for what we do. You know, I've crashed a couple times pretty bad. One time in Portugal was one of the worst crashes I ever had, and the only thing that happened to me is my neck was a little sore and I had a sprained foot, and I was snowboarding the next weekend. Gearbox is a sequential type, and really I only have to use the clutch in first, second, and sometimes third, depending on how much grip we have with the tires. If they're really spinning a lot, I'll have to use the clutch to shift. But once they actually have more grip, the engine cut just lets us shift quite easily. And downshifting especially, you're just standing on the brakes and pushing down.
Oh, it's interesting you use the clutch for the early stuff.
Yeah, it's really all just about wheel spin and trying to get traction, but when there's just too much wheel spin, it just is not able to release the gearbox like it does when it has torque on it.
Yeah. And the big handbrake.
Yeah, the big handbrake.
FIA approved, obviously.
Well, not that one. To me, the handbrake is like one of the things that makes like rally unique, and really drifting's come along and made sliding a car much more commonplace. But before that, rally was it. You know, whether it be gravel or tarmac in Monte Carlo or whatever. That's what I grew up seeing as cars sliding around was rally, and that's one of the ways that you get the car initiated for a slide with the handbrake. So I've always enjoyed sort of customizing the handbrake in my cars, and the piece that you see on there, the Hoonigan sleeve, it's just actually a sleeve that goes over that center tube. So that's why there's actually this piece on the top that you see there.
Yep.
That can actually come off so they can refill the oil inside. And I think that's about it.
Perfect.
I always like showing off our toys, and this one in particular is one of my favorites.
So, that's his car. But what about the man himself? Is he just an adrenaline junkie, or is he a proper car guy? And did he ever really think he had a chance against Loeb in the WRC?
When I was growing up as a kid, I loved rally, but I had no idea it existed in the States at all. It's as far as motorsports go in America, it was quite hidden because NASCAR and drag racing are both so big. But Travis Pastrana started doing some rallies in the States in 2004 and just woke me up to the fact that you could actually do that in the States. And we have a couple really good schools there in the States, and that was my first step, was to go and learn the basics at a school. And since then, I started racing in the championship, and I've won a bunch of national rallies. I was Rookie of the Year my first year, all that sort of fun stuff. But the thing is that, I once I got going and figured out I had a little bit of natural talent to it, to be able to take it and go to the highest level was always sort of a dream too. And I went and raced in the WRC. I enjoyed it, but it was always kind of more of a side project for fun, as opposed to like trying to go be world champion or something. We use a system I think it comes out of Sweden, called Jemba, that a lot of countries actually use. But a lot of countries also have two-pass recce, where you can write your own notes, and so the note development for the drivers is a lot more advanced in Finland and Sweden and the UK and even Australia, those type places. So I really struggled when I went to the WRC because I was so far behind on that side of it. And the thing is, a lot of top rally drivers, we can all get in the cars and know how to set them up and get them down the stage quite fast. But if you're not as advanced on the notes, you can just be miles behind as far as the time goes. So really that was my biggest struggle in racing in the WRC, was really trying to get up to speed with the notes. And so I tried. I still enjoy it. I did one event last year and got 7th overall, and still really proud of being able to race and be in the top 10 in the WRC. But unfortunately, a lot of other people had these really crazy expectations that I was going to go battle Loeb or something, and believe me, I'm far off being able to ever do that, just based on experience alone. But it's been great. I feel like I've really been able to accomplish something with the amount of experience and understanding of where I come from and what it was going to take for me to be able to go do what I wanted to do. But, for me to be able to get where I got, be able to go out and, finish, some stages in the top 5 and finish overall, in the top 7, it's a huge accomplishment for me.
So, there we go. with Ken Block, far more down to earth than I'd imagined, and surprisingly modest about his abilities. Clearly he enjoys what he does, and let's face it, if we all had the money or opportunity to build a monster horsepower car and do big skids in it, who wouldn't? To subscribe to the Evo YouTube channel, just click here. And to watch the final result of that Footkhana film, you can click here.
To be honest, I mean, the only dribbling I've ever really done is in my sleep, so I'm not going to attempt to touch the ball. Can you show us show me what you do?
Okay, I'll show you some of the basics. This is the foot stall, like that.
Yeah.
The knee stall, like that. Around the world. Crossover. Toe bounce, off the toe. The neck stall, shoulder, side, head, nose, mouth, top of the head. And then once you get quite good, you can start taking it to the ground, doing some basic tricks, do the same ones there, balance it on the foot, crossover, hit it with the shins, balance it on the shins, lying down stuff with the sole, like that, stall it on it. And then once you get even better than that, you can start mixing them. So things called combos. So it's where you're putting the tricks together.
That is very, very cool. Thank you very much, that's ace.
Thank you.
There you go.